This is the Mi-03 TV303 emulator, or it says acid style basslines. I'm not sure if you can say the name of the synth, but anyways, it's emulating a TV303, gives you those glorious basslines, and it is totally free. They ask for a donation. It's really cool. You should donate if you can, but it is possible to get it for free, which is really, really awesome. So let's go ahead and break down how this works. You've got your sound generation stuff up top and your generator stuff down below. You can reset stuff here, and I should mention there is no undo feature. Like if you move a knob and then you undo it via your DAW, that's fine, it'll work. But if you generate a sequence and you hit undo, no dice. You're stuck. So if you make a move like that, you got to be real careful. We'll go ahead and reset here. So we've got our sound and our generators. You're probably going to want to have it on host sync mode at the beginning, but you'll want to leave it eventually, trust me. And I'll show you why. So if you hit host sync and we generate a sequence over here using the generator, right now we're generating a sequence on A. There are two, there's A and B. So if we generate one on B, it shows up over here, right? And if we hit play, it'll play through the sequence. It's not going to play through the sequence unless we don't bypass it. So we're going to hit sequencer, and now it plays through it. Let's get rid of the sustain. You know, just dial it in a little bit. Okay, so this is great, except for I'm not playing any notes. It's just playing nonstop. So you're probably going to want to take these notes and put them in your DAW. And there is a drag MIDI function. We just drag it on in, and it'll put them in. Now, this is cool, but it doesn't remember your slide notes. So, and also it's sensitive to what sequence. So if you're on AAAB, it'll drag 3 of A and 1 of B in. So just be aware of that. If we play this though, we leave host sync and we hit play, it'll play through our MIDI. It doesn't remember our slide notes. So the slide notes are indicated by these O's down here, the empty ones, the hollow ones, the outline ones. And in order to fix it, you just overlap them a bit and now it'll slide. But it doesn't bring it over. So that's kind of a bummer. But if you ever want to be able to stop it without using volume automation, you're going to have to use the MIDI version. I don't know why I indicated that there was going to be like a 2 and a 3. So that's why you may not want a host sequence on all the time. Like while you're making a sequence, great. But as soon as you're writing music, all of a sudden it gets in the way actually. And you're going to want to be moving out. But it is very inspiring to work with the engine directly. So let's talk about that. We have a generator. We can sync it to a scale. And they have all these crazy looking scales. Major pentatonic. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? Let's run with this. Now, let's also make it sound a little bit prettier. So we have our ADSR in a curve. This curve is like the bowing of the envelope. So if we have the sustain all the way down and we bring the release down, this attack's going to have, or not the attack, the decay is going to have a big roll. And the curve will change this. We have a very tight curve, very open curve, almost like a sustain or like a hold setting. So that's what this controls. Let's go ahead, let's bring up the acid, and we'll bring up the envelope modulation. This is going to automatically move the cutoff for us. Find a nice region and bring up the resonance. Now, there's this accent control. Again, we see another curve control with similar idea. These are like, right, the ADSR for the filter, attack decay. But this accent, if we bring this up, this will make notes that have these little accent symbols louder. And we play it. And you hear those wow, 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 those sorts of things. That is what the accent is doing for us. And then over here we have our distortion. I like the post distortion usually, although pre has a whole host of sounds as well that sound really cool. I'm going to bring the drive up. We're going to bring the mix up. Sounds like this. Yeah, really cool. Choose a different waveform. And then we have our glide time. If we bring our sustain up, that's pretty quick. longer, right? So that's all that is. So that's the sound section, and we've already started using some of these things. Now we could change our length of our sequence. We could change and shift the notes up and down. We can move them back and forth. We can change the octave specifically by clicking the randomization. Randomize high. Interestingly, this goes up 3 and down 3. I'm not sure if the paid ones go that far. I'd have to go double check. You could generate these sequences and have them come back in a specific order. If you have follow on, it will always show the sequence that's currently being played. So if you're going to do that, I tend to use just one sequence. You can copy the sequences and from one to the other if you want to maybe augment it to continue a phrase, which is, I think, a lot more useful than going completely random on the second one. And then down here, we've got our note on and off. So this first one's note off. This plays a note, and this has a slide note. You can accent the note and then force envelope. To show this, let's go ahead and bring down it to 4, and we will put a note, a slide note, a note, and a slide note. And if we have this just this way, it sounds like this. Actually, we need to slide somewhere. We'll slide up to a G. Why not? Now, what force envelope does is it forces slide notes to get a retrigger, but it's a bit confusing because it actually has to be on the note before it. So this is going to slide, and this will ensure, because it needs to know before it gets to the note, that that note should have a re-triggered envelope. So if I have this without, if I don't have anything, it sounds like this. If I have it on the notes, it doesn't sound any different. But if I have them on these notes, you'll hear 4 distinct envelope triggers with the slide. So that's what that does. This confused me for a while, but that's what it does. You can augment. Usually if I'm generating sequences, I like to try out different note combos, and this will change it. You can change the density. Maybe we want it like really busy, or maybe we want it a little bit more sparse, and so really cool. There is one more thing in here that, man, this thing confuses me. It's the arpeggiator. I have tried to figure out what this does, how it works, and the manual is the way they wrote it. Let me read it. I should note there is only one sentence dedicated to this, so that doesn't help. So it says, it is the note number from the currently playing chord that will be triggered. If you want to figure this out and tell me exactly what behavior to expect, I would love to know. So for example, if I put this down and I put that at a 3 and then a 5 and then a 1, I expect it, if I hit, is it like the number of notes I hit in? Is this a transposition? Is this like, to me, it strikes me as a transposition, but if I hit one note while playing, and let's keep it real simple. Let's have them all be like this, just note ons. There's no transposition. If I hit it 2 notes, nothing. If I hit a note, then another note. But if I hit 3 notes, it suddenly does something. So is that like the requirement? There has to be at least 3. And let me take those 3 notes and change them. And now it's behaving like a normal one. But if I change it to like 8, like, does that... That's 3 notes again. This is the same input. And it's... I don't know. I don't know how to expect what this is going to do. It's defeated me. I don't know what, I don't know. You tell me. If you know exactly how this works and what notes it's going to generate, I'd love to know down in the comments how this thing works. I stick to the sequencer. and live there. And then I drag the MIDI out. So a really cool synth, super straightforward to use, very inspiring. As long as you know about the advantages of drag MIDI, it is pretty easy to work with, and avoid the arpeggiator, and make sure you don't generate a sequence and then need to undo, because you can't do that. But other than those things, really nice, really amazing, completely awesome that the developers made it possible to get it for free, even though, they really want a donation. You should donate. So this is the website. You do need to log in. The login on this website's strange. Every time you log in, it requires you to do a code every single time. So in order to download and all that stuff too. So interesting. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but worth noting, I guess. There are some demos here. One is just like the presets. The other one's like a small track. You could download it. It's available for Mac, Windows, and iPad, which is interesting. I mean, it kind of looks like an iPad thing, but kind of cool. If you hit download, it will ask for a donation. You can put in 0 and, get it if you think it's fair. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's really well made. It sounds good. Consider donating. Down here, it says login download manual. I wish this was the login button, because if you look, the login button disappeared because it's at the top. This is like hard to spot. So let me know your thoughts on it. Subscribe and hit that bell icon for future videos, and have a blessed day.